Welcome to the SolidCAM University channel. In this video, we'll be covering how to SolidVerify a turning part file. So we've seen in previous videos how you could do SolidVerify for your part. You can simulate your toolpaths. We've seen in other previous videos how to do turning toolpaths and the fact that there is a turning simulation for those turning toolpaths. But in the turning simulation, you don't actually see any gouges. In SolidVerify, that's the one that gives you the nice error messages and kind of gives you an idea as to where the tool is actually gouging in 3D. So if you were to SolidVerify your turning toolpath to see those gouges, but how do you still see the same sort of views you get from the turning toolpath? How do you get a combination of the two? So we're going to cover that in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and SolidVerify this part. And of course, if we ran through this, we would see that we get color coding, we see the toolpaths and whatnot. And one of the things that we like to see in the turning simulation is the profile. You can see the tool getting in there and all that. And obviously, because we're turning, we want to see what this thing looks like in that profile. So if we go back to SolidVerify, along here, along the bottom row of these icons, you can see there's a couple of ones here that only pop up when you do turning or mill turn. And these are the ones that are specific to this SolidVerify of turning. For instance, if we want to see that same profile view, we can click on 2D, and then we can see the profile. So it's the same sort of representation we get from the SolidVerify, except here we would get error messages. For instance, I believe it's my internal turning. If we open that up, I actually went ahead and made it just insert only, because I wasn't looking at the shank. I didn't want to actually check the dimensions of the shank, but this time I'm going to do that. And if we do this, we'll actually notice that this thing is probably too big for my bore. Okay, so what happens when we SolidVerify that? Okay, let's put that back into 2D and let's play that through. And it's giving me the error message. So my holder, in this case my shank, is actually colliding. Now if I had done that with the turning, it's not giving me that message. It's just going through there, and even if there was a violation, if there was a collision, it's not letting me know that. So that's why it's probably a good idea to use SolidVerify as well to do that simulation. As soon as we do that, okay, yeah, it's letting me know that there's an error. Good enough, perfect. Some of these other buttons, what they'll do is, if I just click on the second one, it pretty much returns it back to the full view. Full view as opposed to these other views. So let's take a look at these other ones. So this one is a 3/4 view. So I can see just kind of like a section cut of the part. I can see a half cut, or I can see a quarter cut. And again, this is only available in the lathe view, so that's why it makes sense to look at it in terms of 3/4, half, or single quarter, only because as turning, we really just want to see what that thing looks like from these angles, where there's not going to be much of a difference in turning toolpath. Now this half cut is similar to what you would have gotten inside SolidWorks, where you can do this section cut. The same sort of idea. So you can see the halfway through. Something else that is inside SolidWorks that sometimes is beneficial to do SolidVerifies and stuff like that, that most people weren't aware are in SolidCAM, is stuff like this. If you go to these views here, you can see a wireframe view and a full line wireframe view. Something like that, or even the transparency. These are different ways to look inside the part when you're maybe doing a drilling or something like that. And these functions are also available inside SolidVerify. So again, let's take a look at that. This was covered in a previous video, but since this video is talking about SolidVerify of turning, I just wanted to cover this as well. These views up here give you those same functions. So here is a see-through view, here is a wireframe, 2 wireframes, and the see-through view. So similar enough to what was happening inside SolidWorks, gives you an idea of what's going on inside the part. And then these views here are perfect for turning so that you can actually SolidVerify and see that profile view. Any questions of this or anything else from SolidCAM, just give us a call at 1-866-975-1115, extension 2. You can send us your parts or your questions via the ticket system at solidcamsupport.com. And stay tuned for the rest of the videos on this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.